everybody, Maury Curtis Dunbar here. Welcome back to Painted Studio. Today we are finishing up our fabulous embossed table, and we're going to be doing the rest of foiling on it, and then we're going to talk about the next steps. Now let me just refresh my page here, find myself so that I can see who comes in and answer questions, hopefully. So if you remember from last week, we had primed the table with Whitson's Super Adhesion Primer. It's a product that we carry. We are the U.S. distributors for this product. I tinted it gray because I knew I was going to put black over it, and it's way easier to put black over a middle tone gray than to apply black over white because you get a lot of that uneven color. I saved myself a lot of work doing that, and of course the Whitson's, you can use most any tinting system for water-based paints. Whitson's is actually a waterborne alkyd, soy-based, very cool stuff. Works beautifully. No, I'm sorry, it's not soy-based, that's the other product. It's a waterborne alkyd, very, very super high bonding. As you've seen me use it on other things, really likes to grab tight. And so it was a perfect product to use on this. Now last week we had it upside down, and on the table behind me here, we check something, looked like somebody had a question. We did the legs, and then I sealed them up to protect them because my cleaning crew was coming in, which was an absolutely excellent idea because they did indeed move things around a little. So now we're going to do the top, we're going to do the sides. I'm going to try to go at it facing you in the camera so it's a little easier for you to see what I'm doing. And we're going to start right now. We put black set coat over the whole thing, let it dry, then we put our Artsyville foil adhesive on here, and this has been drying for about 3 hours now. So hopefully we will not have any funny pullback. It is very hot and very humid here today. We are also open, so if somebody comes in, we might have to shift our plans. But the first thing I'm going to do actually, let me do this before I do the top. I'm going to do a little test spot in the back to make sure everything's cured up enough. I'm going to the spot where I put the foil adhesive on last, which is, I went around here, and this spot right back here was the last place I put foil adhesive on. So if I can come in here and put my foil down and have it release well, then I know we're ready to go on the top. But I got to test. You always want to test, and the best thing to do is test in an inconspicuous spot, not right over the biggest surface you're going to be working on. And I'm using my heavy duty scrubber. These are really hard to find. These are older. You can see that's pretty beat up. They're super stiff. Most of the scrubbers you find places now are much softer. And for this, yeah, we're good. Get in a few spots here. There we go. So you can see, took the foil off beautifully. Had a little patching spot there. Most of the scrubbers available today are kind of softer because I guess the surfaces that they're going on are a little softer, and that's not always helpful when we need a stiff scrub brush. All right, so I'm going to try. Let's see how I do this. Oh no, I can't lay anything out perfectly smooth and flat to save my life. So let's see how we do going like this. Oh my goodness, I actually got it right, except I left my scissors all the way over here. I'm so smart. Now I'm letting the foil flop over the side because I also foiled all around, put the adhesive on all around the edges. And we're going to smooth this first with my hand. Try to get it out a little bit. Okay. You can hear my rings scraping. So if you have rings, it's not going to affect it so much on this surface because it's so textured. But if you have a very smooth surface, take your rings off if you're wearing any, because you can actually scratch the surface and make scuffs in your foiling release. I've done it. Which is why if you watch me foil, you see I'm usually only putting the heel of my hand down because that's what keeps jewelry off of it. My watch is rubbing against it. If it were a smoother surface, I'd have my watch off as well. All right, so why am I going to take it off now? Now, I'm going to scrub vertically and horizontally, but I am not going to go right up to the edge here. And for those of you who are not familiar with foils, foils have a pretty side and a not so pretty side. The not so pretty side right here always goes down to the adhesive, and actually I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, where's my zoom? Here we go. You'll see what I'm doing just a little better. Okay. So there's always an edge when you have to deal with a wider surface, a surface that's wider than your foil is, so you have an edge. To avoid having a sharp seam, you emboss your foil near the edge, but not all the way to it, because then you can lay down foil overlapping it, that edge part, and it's a soft blur. We scrub vertically and horizontally because on most surfaces you can get the pattern of your scrub brush in whatever it is you're scrubbing on. So if you do this motion, you can have that swirl pattern released in your foils, and it's not very pretty. It doesn't look very neat. It looks like you scrubbed your stuff on, which is, while that is what you're doing, it doesn't look very good. All right, so let's do that. However, on this really super textured surface, I can do circles because I've got to work my foil into a lot of areas. And remember what this looked like as I was painting the primer on it. It's very, very textured. It's got a stamped pattern in tin on it. And we're working with that and kind of jazzing it up, as we like to say. All right, so I'm going to pull it back, and wow, is that release gorgeous. Wow, wow, wow. Look how beautiful that releases. Here is my used foil, and you can see very little was left behind. And because we did this over black, anything that might need a little touching up or anything will be easy to blend. But this already looks amazing. So I'm going to take another piece. We're going to overlap it a bit. Carefully smooth it down. Great, I got the first piece on perfectly. This is going to be the one that I can't get on right. Okay, let's get this laid up here a little better. And it's overlapping the edge where my foil stopped before. So we're going to come in here, horizontally, vertically, and in circles. I'm going to get my edges here as well, and you can't tell it, but I foiled it across the back as well. And I'm actually going to do the back of this leg because that goes down almost the perfect amount, and I'll just touch up the different parts. There's going to be a little tiny spot about this inch, those many inches, that didn't get any foil on it. Wow. Oh, it's so beautiful. I am loving this. Now, it's funny, when I said this the other day, when I ordered this foil, I was like, this will be fine. This has become my new favorite foil. It's wonderfully dark and broody, like the Victorian romance novel. I'm very, very much in love with this pattern. Come back in here and just get this edge here, because even though I foiled it a little bit, I didn't scrub the whole thing. And if you remember it from being upside down, it had the broken backer board on it, where they had to cut it out to get into the back. Sorry about that. Somebody decided to spam call me, even though I'm on airplane mode. These spam calls are getting so tricky now that they actually can just do it through Wi-Fi. I'm so pleased about that. But look how beautiful this tabletop is now. Look how gorgeous that is. And we're going to do all the sides, and we're going to do the front. So I'm going to come kind of twist things around. I'll probably have to zoom. Well, I might not have to zoom out a little bit if I pull it back here. My arms are too short. Okay, so here I am over here. Push that so you can see it. Let's see what I need to do here. Okay, we're going to use part of this, and we're going to go. It almost meets the bottom perfectly. I mean, we're very fortunate that that's the width. So scoop back here for my scrubber. Might as well grab my scissors too, just in case. Now, if you're looking at this really close, you can see where the pattern shifts, but you have to know that that's what you're looking at. It is hot here. I know it's hot everywhere around the country right now. But hot like this can make doing some of these projects a little challenging. Fortunately, everything is holding up really nicely for us. Oh, so gorgeous. I'm so happy with how this is coming out. And a little bit sticky right there, so I'm going to take a little bit of oil. Nice. That filled that in beautifully. All right, you're going to have me scooting across the camera in front of you to come over this way. Sorry about that. I know the back of my head is my best side. Feel around here, make sure there's nothing else that needs to be done. And sometimes you can just feel it touching things where things might be a little bit sticky. I'm going to come in here with the foil. And because this has a lot of texture, we can have a lot of sticky spots on here. There we go. All right, let's switch this around so that we can get to the front. I am trying to watch my camera so I can see what you see. And I'm going to, I knocked it, so you zoom out a little bit. Sorry, I put foil on there. And that is the camera lens. The camera feed is sensitive enough that it will knock it out so you can't see what I'm doing. All right, we're going to go do this side, which I'm not going to quite turn all the way around just because it's a little tight when I start turning that way. tell you, I'd rather do foiling when it's hot than when it's cold, because foil will release in heat. It will not release when it's cold. You'll get terrible, terrible results in cold. And just if it's hot out, it takes longer for the adhesive to set up. All right, let's see where I'm at here. So I will buy a new backer board for the back of this once we've got it all fixed. I'm in the middle of repairing the drawers, or the drawer runners. They've been nailed back into place, but the wood is pretty brittle, so it does not, it splits with the nails in it, so there's also wood glue, and there's wood putty. I'm kind of rebuilding stuff, and that's not unusual. You have an older piece of furniture, one that's been around, or if it's been sitting in the sun, the wood becomes incredibly brittle. So you have to kind of work it out. Let's see, what am I feeling here? What's still? I love this pattern. It patches together so well that you don't know that you're patching it. So when the wood is very brittle and very dry, doing repairs is a whole different challenge. And sometimes you don't know what the challenge is until you're doing the repair. And yes, I have had that happen way more than I'd like to own up to. Because everything will seem nice and stable, and then you put it, you tap a little wood nail into it, a little brad nail, and all of a sudden, boom, you have your wood splitting. So I'm going to take a piece about this big to the front. On the bottom, and we still have the legs and up here to do. I apologize for my back being in anybody's face here, but this is kind of what we have to do to get the foil on. Let's get this in here. Get that in there. Let's wrap the top, because yes, I did put foil adhesive on here on the top of this because that drawer was pretty loose. All right, I'm going to slide around in front of you again. Sorry for the back of my head. I'm scooting around on my little wheelie thing so that you all can see what's going on. And I even foiled up under here. I really wanted to kind of go all fours on here, get really, really, really super floral, so that when you turn it upside down, it's flowery as well. I mean, seriously, how beautiful, how gorgeous is this? Come in here. Grab my little brush. You want to make sure you get those creases too. All right, let me give this a shove over this way. And let's see if we've got enough foil to get this part done. I think we do. Now get some and go up over the top and everything. So I'm going to say, all told, foiling this table takes about 20 feet of foil. It doesn't look like that, but if I'm going 4 here and then another 4, and then I need 4 for this, it's already 12 feet that I've gotten used, plus I need whatever I've got to do down on the legs. Yes, there are bits and pieces that I'm piecing together. That always happens. But 15 feet might do it. Then again, it might not. And the worst thing that can happen is to come up short when you've got foil adhesive on something and you're going, oh crap, I just don't have enough. So, somewhere between 16 and 20 square feet to do this table. Oh, it's so pretty. And as you can see, I'm really not leaving tons of foil behind. I'm really using all my foil. All right, so let me go grab a little more so we can finish off the last bits of this. And then we can talk about top coats and my next steps. I'm not going to take off much more than about 1.5 feet. So sometimes if I have to figure out, I will sit and measure, and I give myself a little extra, so I know I've got about 18 by 4, I've got another 12 by 4, plus the sides, plus the legs. So do your math and then give yourself a little extra. All right, let me come back over this way. Just shove her back over here so you can see what I'm doing. So gorgeous. I know I haven't looked at anybody's questions for a while, so if you have them, don't think I've forgotten you. I'll come back in and look at them in just a second. But I'm a foiling maniac right now, and I don't want to miss anything. I'm trying to keep all my foiling plans and pieces straight, because if I stop and start, I actually miss spots, and that's not something that makes me happy. Okay, so let's go up under here. There's a piece of foil stuck there. Come back over this way. Well, at least you're getting the back of my head, not the view of my butt. So let's come in here. Make sure you get into the fold, because if you have a little curve in your surface, it's really easy to miss the fold, and you don't want to do that, because then you have a splotchy pattern. And we are down to our last little bit here. Make sure I get it all on here correctly. Right there. Actually, no, that was black. I thought it was blank. It was black. here. Make sure there's no blank spots there. I mean, look at this. This is so cool. The flowery motif is gorgeous. It's rich looking. We are all foiled up now. Tonight, then after I sign off with you all, I've already top coated the legs. So my next spots to top coat will be the cross sections here. Oh, I missed a spot there. See, I told you I was going to miss something. I'll top coat it, seal it up. I'll be using Varnish Plus, which is a beautiful top coat for furniture. Holds up extremely well, has alcohol resistance to it, although once again, painted furniture should be cleaned with nothing more than soap. And actually, I wouldn't bother with soap. Most of the time, it just needs a damp cloth. But don't use harsh cleaners on any of this kind of thing. It doesn't hold up well. Your furniture won't be happy. You won't have a long-lasting, beautiful finish if you go after it with like a Mr. Clean Eraser. And I know some people say, I would never do that. You'd be amazed. And I have had to repair more stuff that was damaged by something like a Mr. Clean Eraser. Because the assumption is that this is like a super durable plastic finish. No, we're putting something special, something unique on here, and it needs to be treated like that. Okay, so we are foiled. I am so pleased with this. It's so beautiful. And of course, all my foil scraps from today are going to go into my big scrap bag over here. And we will use them when in packaging, and you'll get foil scraps from us. So let me grab them all up before I forget. And slide myself back behind the table here. They go right in our foil scrap bag. We do not ever throw foil scraps away. They are here for you to have when you order foils. We just ask you to put them in the notes. All right, everybody, thank you for giving me your time today. This is going to be so pretty. The drawers over here. I have a feeling I may reuse the original hardware because it's subtle on the front of this and it'll be just perfect. Tomorrow I will be sanding with what you can't see back here, but the drawer runners have been fixed. I need to sand down the wood putty to make it nice and smooth so things don't catch up. And then I've got to go pick up a piece of masonite to put on the back. I will paint that black, and I'm going to foil that as well. It's going to be a foil thing. I am so excited. I'm so in love with this. Thank you all so much. Let me take a second, see if anybody had any questions. Okay. Well, I got to pull this up because it's too far away for me to read. Thank you all for popping in. Wow, that's BB. Yes, it is beautiful. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Thank you for loving my sandals. And thank you all who popped in. Hi, Desiree. You missed most of the live video. Kim, this has been a three-parter. So our first video, this was a metal table. It was actually hammered tin. It's made in India. And then it had some kind of coating in it. So we used our Whitson's Super Adhesion Primer on here. Let it set up the appropriate amount of time. Then painted it again with our Set Coat Black. Again, a super high bonding, nicely leveling, beautiful to work over paint product. And then we applied the Artsyville foil adhesive, let it set up for a minimum of an hour, and then released foil over it. So if you go back, Kim, over the last couple of days, last Friday and Saturday, I believe, you'll see me prepping the table, and you'll see what the first round of releasing the foil is. The only thing you didn't see was me cleaning it. because I was testing a bunch of different cleaners on here to see what would or would not cause problems. I used something I almost never use on furniture because this was metal, I could get away with it. I used Crud Cutter to cut through all the grease and grime that had been built on it, and then I wiped the entire thing down with denatured alcohol afterwards to make sure I didn't have any residue from the Crud Cutter. After that, once it was dry, it was ready for our high bonding primer. Perfect solution for this piece. You saw me do the testing on it. I think you'd be very pleased with using it. We have had nothing but great reviews on our Whitson's high bonding primer. I have to tell you that it is terrific for every kind of weird surface. I think the only thing I have found that it doesn't stick to is the kind of plastic bottles that liquids and creams come in, the squishy type, but nothing sticks to that. It's not supposed to. Let's see what else. Let me put my glasses back on because I am definitely warm. Let's see. Hi, Dolly. Nice to see you here. Oh, yes. Kim, end tables that are old for mica, you definitely want to look at our Whitson's Superior Adhesion Primer. It is a really spectacular product. A friend of mine, Kate Whitson, who's in Scotland, formulated this to go over things like IKEA furniture, which is all plastic and nothing sticks to it. Melamine wrap cabinets for mica, laminate, all of that kind of stuff. So definitely this is the product you want to use. And if you need more help or more questions about it, just let me know. I'll message you. We can go back and forth and I can help you find exactly what you need for your project. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I am actually due on a Zoom call shortly. Whoops, I also pushed myself out of the camera again. I apologize. If you can't tell, this little thing here controls my Zoom. And if I touch the phone wrong, the Zoom goes in weird places. So I apologize for any of that kind of stuff. I will be back. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Definitely stay cool. I'm going to go park myself in front of the air conditioner while I go on my Zoom call shortly. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you so much.